in August, it will be 6 years since Katrina. I mean, being an adult, look at it. If something breaks in my house, I fix it. And I understand that Katrina was rather disastrous. But still, 6 years and all the money that the government poured into it, come on, let's get our act together. And so I was going there and I was afraid that I was just going to see people sitting on their hands saying, come help me. And if you remember Walter, the construction supervisor, when we first walked into the house, he made the comment, he said, in case you were wondering, this is why we are here and this is the situation. And it had to do with the lady whose house we were in. She was working at a job over 100 miles away. She was having to rent a place. But the crux of the matter was that she had insurance. But when you have a mortgage, the house is the collateral to the bank for the mortgage. And when you lose the house, when the house gets destroyed, then there's no more collateral. So when the insurance pays off, the bank says, whoa, that money's mine. And they take the money. So the poor homeowner winds up with no house and no money. And that was my aha moment. That was when I thought, okay, that's why these people up and down this street that we were in, they're 6 years later in their house, nothing is happening to their houses. As you recall, this lady is funding the purchase of the materials, the drywall and all the other stuff, on a credit card. And we are supplying the labor. And that was a pretty humbling bit of knowledge to learn. And at that point, and I'm really glad that happened early Monday morning, because man, I was enthusiastic for the rest of the week.
It is June 6th, the morning of June 6th. We're on our way to a woman's house by the name of Mrs. Davis. We're gonna go help rebuild the inside of her house, I guess, after Hurricane Katrina. We arrived here pretty late yesterday, which was June 5th. So I'm not really sure what we'll be doing, but I'm guessing it'll be fun.
Everybody's nerves. I know some hits on everybody's nerves, and this is how it goes.
The first day I was kind of bummed out because we were going to go to this house and just sheetrock, and I didn't know how to sheetrock, and I thought it was going to be kind of like not a girl's job. It's going to be just guys doing it, and we're just going to be sitting around. But I realized like anyone can do it, and you just have to learn, and it was really fun.
We were in New Orleans for a total of 5 days, and out of those 5 full days, me and Megan spent 3 together working on the walls of Mrs. Davis's house. And 3 days is not a long time, but when you're stuck in the same house doing the same thing, it seems like a lot longer. But I will say, nothing makes for a better bonding experience than being stuck in a house without AC, sweating, and putting up walls. I am now closer to our youth group than I ever expected to be.
One of my favorite things was just always watching the young people in my group growing closer and seeing what it really means to serve someone. Not serving someone because it makes them feel good about what they've done, but serving someone because someone needs help. And on this trip in particular, when we were working on drywalling Miss Davis's house, the cool thing was we never met Miss Davis, and we probably never will. But we spent 3 days in sweltering heat with no air conditioning in the house and just fans to kind of keep us cool. Drywalling and mudding and getting absolutely disgustingly dirty and stinky. Even though we would never meet her or hear a thank you or anything like that, we realized that it wasn't about affirmation that we get. It wasn't about the good feeling. It was about doing what God has called us to do just because He called us to do it.
Where did you see God working the most throughout this whole trip?
It was probably the Baton Rouge place. We took like an hour and a half drive to go to meet this lady who had a tree fall on her house, and it was really emotional because this just happened, and I mean there was so much devastation and stuff going on, and we just went there automatically, no fighting and confusion. We just went there and helped.
Megan, tell the camera what we're doing.
We're trying to find a house with a tree on it.
I think we're lost.
And are we lost?
A tree fell on somebody's house, right?
Right.
And we are going to help move their stuff out of their house so that they can fix it.
I found a tree. Oh, $5 for myself. We have just arrived at our house that we are what are we doing? We're moving stuff. We're moving stuff. And a tree has landed on it, obviously in that big gaping hole. And so I hope we have fun today.
The weekend before we came to New Orleans, there was a storm and a tree fell on the house of a family in Baton Rouge. So on our third day in New Orleans, we were given the job of going to help the family in Baton Rouge pack up their belongings and put them in a pod so that they could fix their roof.
So that's Emily. She's standing on the trunk of the tree.
We don't know if this is a tree.
Yeah, we're not sure if that one's it.
I'm almost sure that it's a tree.
Yeah. John was wrong. That was not the stump that the tree came off of. That was the old tree. And that sucker was 70 feet tall. Your name is?
I'm Brandon Key.
So how did this mission trip affect you?
It was really cool to see how God was working through and in people, and just to see everyone working together, that sort of stuff.
So, recap. Day 1, we arrived. Day 2, we worked at Miss Davis's house. Day 3, we were in Baton Rouge helping the family with the broken house.
Are you gonna videotape it?
Day 4, me and Megan and some other people went back to Miss Davis's house and worked while everyone else kind of went to their own places. There was some people went to the food pantry. Some people went to Gloria Day.
Have you ever been on a mission trip before?
No.
So this was your first one. And did you have a favorite part?
All of it was very fun.
Okay, well, did you enjoy doing something
Giving out food.
at the food pantry?
Yes, that was pretty fun.
Did you just do that for one day or 2?
One day,
Alright. And why did you enjoy that the most?
because everyone was so happy when they got their food, and I helped them to their car.
Cool. Is there anything else you'd like to say about that?
No.
So what was your favorite part about the trip?
It was the 4th day, second to last day. I went to Gloria Day with the Austin youth group, and it was really fun because I got to be with little kids and meet new people from Austin. make a bunch of new friends.
Okay, so this was it like an organization?
It was like a summer program sort of thing, not like a VBS, but...
What did they do with the kids?
I don't know really, I mean, my group sort of did spelling words and sung songs.
Okay. So basically after the 4th day, we all went our separate ways. Megan and I, however, stayed at Mrs. Davis's house to finish up the rooms. No matter where we were though, we were all working super hard. And it was really hot outside all the time, so you can bet we were sweating. The humidity, we're not used to it. With all this dry heat around. So Camp Restore was actually really cool. Everybody slept in these bunkhouses, and there was a sanctuary, and there was like a gym, and there's showers and air conditioning and Wi-Fi, and it was everything we could ever ask for. It was a really cool place just to get to know people and hang out. I'd walk in to get like a glass of water, and there's like a dance party going on. That was cool.
So on the last day, we got to finally see children, for me that is, and some other people. And we went to this Head Start program, and it's funded by the government, and the rooms were just decorated and full of education. It was pretty cool. And it was amazing at the amount of things these children were learning. And it was water day, and we went outside and played with the kids, and it was pretty fun. And I was in charge of pushing the kids down the slide. Some of them didn't want to go, and so I had to kind of help them, and some of them just wanted to get me wet.
I think my favorite part was going to that school and
Head Start?
Head Start and going to Head Start and having the water day. Meeting Larry for the first time.
Can you tell me about Larry?
Larry, he's a very energetic kid. He was so awesome and nice. I mean, at the very instant we met, we became best friends forever. I mean, BFFs. I mean, he can run so fast. He can run like 5 miles an hour. I can only run like 2, and I try and catch up to him. And if I'm lost or if I'm trying to look for him, he always just comes up and says, "Hey, bud, let's go do this, let's go do that." I mean, he finds me just so awesome. There was a funny part about Larry. He had a girlfriend, and he dumped her on the slide.
He had a girlfriend?
Yeah, he dumped her on the slide.
He broke up with her on the slide.
He said, "I don't need you anymore."
Wasn't Larry only 4 years old?
Yes, he was 4 years old, and he was a very sweet guy. I could just tell right away Jesus was working through these kids in a great way.
How could you tell?
I could tell that because they were having fun, and the Miss McGee, the person who runs the place, says that they're good kids and that they're always fun to be with.
One of the last things we did before we left to go home was visit the French Quarter. And honestly, I can't think of a better way we could have spent our last day in New Orleans. So, did you have a favorite part in the mission trip? Like, favorite thing that we did?
A favorite part? The whole mission trip was a fun experience. The group, our kids that went with us, I think they were well behaved and worked hard and showed that God's love was shining forth, like what the mission statement was. And I'd go with them again.
I had a lot of fun. And it was one of the things that I got out of it was the respect for the youth and the teenagers. And that's really what I was hoping to get out of it, and so it happened.